Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Select Board meeting of February 17th, 2026. May I have a roll call, please?
With us tonight, Madam Chair, are Joe Still, Jared Chadwick, you, Judith Whiteside, myself, Sarah Corbett, Marcus Gomes, Richard Bowen on Zoom, and Derek Sullivan is excused absent tonight. I would just like to say, let the good times roll. It is Fat Tuesday.
Thank you. I declare that there is a quorum present. I'm going to ask Gavin Schluter to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gavin's here this evening because he is working on his scouting badges, and so he is here to watch government in action. Is there anyone here who chooses to speak to us on something that is not on the agenda? Thank you. Community members are welcome to share their comments on topics that are not listed on the meeting agenda. Each speaker can speak up to 2 minutes, with a total of 10 minutes allotted for this portion of the meeting. Please note that based on standard procedure, the Select Board listens during this time but does not respond or enter into discussion. This is not to be dismissive. In fact, it is to ensure that all voices are heard and to uphold the Massachusetts open meeting law, which prohibits members from discussing matters that are not included on the posted agenda. So I would ask that you step forward. There's a sign-up sheet for residents' comments. Please state your name slowly and spell it out for us so that we can get it into the minutes.
The furthest one on the right.
On the right?
Here?
No, you can stay where you are, just sign that.
Oh, this one here, okay.
Yep, please. Thank you. So identify yourself for the record, please, and let us know what you're here to speak with.
Hello, my name is Timothy Bigelow. I live at 25 Prospect Street in Buzzards Bay, officially, but onset. I've been here a couple of times. I know that you guys have heard from me before. We want to talk a little bit about some different information. I want to read a statement on the pollution trends in Onset Bay and the need for monitoring prior to any expansion of the marina. Over the last decade, multiple independent indicators show that Onset Bay is experiencing increasing pollution pressures, particularly from stormwater runoff, nutrient loading, and intensified boating and marina activity. These trends are reflected in expanded shellfish harvesting restrictions, more frequent rainfall-triggered closures, and the documented decline of eelgrass beds, one of the most sensitive indicators of quality degradation. At the same time, Wareham does not currently maintain a unified year-over-year monitoring program for bacteria levels, nutrient concentrations, stormwater impacts, or boating-regulated pollution in Onset Bay. Without consistent baseline data, the town cannot reliably evaluate cumulative impacts or determine whether additional development, especially high-intensity waterfront uses, would exacerbate existing impairments. Given these conditions, it is essential that Wareham establish a formal, science-based monitoring framework before considering any expansion of marina operations or other activities that increase pollutant load. This should include regular water quality sampling, classification changes, stormwater impact assessments, eelgrass mapping, and annual reporting on shellfish classification changes. Until such a system is in place, the Conservation Commission cannot make a defensible determination that further intensification is protective of the resource areas under the Wetlands Protection Act and the Wareham Wetlands Bylaw. In short, Onset Bay is already under measurable stress. The town lacks the monitoring needed to evaluate additional impacts, and no expansion should proceed until Wareham has the data necessary to ensure long-term environmental resilience. We have compiled a comprehensive report on pollution trends in Onset Bay and the need for a formal monitoring framework before any marina expansion. We have sent that to the Conservation Commission. We want you to be aware of it. If you'd like it, we can send it to you as well.
Your 2
and
minutes
we are
is up, sir.
What's that?
If you can just squash up your last
done.
sentence. Okay,
Thank you for your time.
thank you. Are you here to speak as well?
Yes, yes.
And your name is, please?
My name is James Morrissey, Morrissey. I'm a resident of Onset on Maple Street, and I'm here today to voice my concerns over the proposed redevelopment project of the Safe Harbor Marina is putting forth. Proposed development includes a massive 42,000 square foot building, which is adjacent to a designated wetland area. 25% portion of said building is in a 50-foot wetlands no activity zone, and overall 50% portion of the building is within the 100-feet wetlands buffer zone. All raises major concern as the community has had ongoing issues with storm drainage, groundwater runoff, and further contamination of the bay and ecosystem. Safe Harbor Marina has not been a good steward of the bay, as a number of environmental violations have been reported to the Mass Department of Environmental Protection through the Environmental Strike Force, EFS website. Because of SHM's total lack of adherence to environmental regulations, I respectfully ask the Select Board and the Wareham Conservation Committee take up the task to require Safe Harbor Marina developers to apply for a MEPA review, as many of the abutters feel a project of this size and complexity demands an environmental impact study. For those not familiar with MEPA, it stands for Massachusetts Environmental Policy Act. It's a state law designed to ensure that the environmental impacts are considered in a planning and an approval of a development, established in the 1970s. MEPA their aim is to reduce potential harm to the environment while facilitating responsible development, with these types of projects. Another issue to put things into perspective is I also want to mention that the physical size of and height of this proposed building will forever change the character and residential nature of this section in Onset. The building will be the size of an airplane hangar, the size of which could store a Boeing 747. And the height would be, for any abutter standing in their property, would be the equivalent of you or I standing in left field in Fenway Park and looking at the green monster.
Mr.
The
Morrissey,
elevation is over 50 feet.
2 minutes, sir. I'm going to give you 10 seconds more, sir.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I essentially allowing, that's all I have to say then.
Thank you. Would you choose to leave a copy of either one of you left with us?
Sure.
The statements?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can give it to Mrs. Corbett.
I'm
Is
the
there
clerk.
anyone else
Take them.
here who chooses to speak on something that is not on the agenda? Nope. Okay, we're going to go to announcements. Mr. Still,
Me, Madam Chair.
Mr. Chadwick,
I have none.
Mr. Gomes,
I have none today.
Ms. Corbett,
No, I have none.
and myself. The only announcement I would have is there was a very tragic accident this few days ago where people were walking on ice. Both of them drowned. The dog survived. I know that Mr. Chadwick is a first responder in that area of the world, and we all know that you can't count on saltwater ice being anything other than fungible. Means you go through it. Both of them died, and it was a very tragic accident. It was very tragic for the people who were trying to save them. There were 2 police officers who tried to help the woman out of the water. They both fell through the ice as well, and they both could have drowned at the same time. I urge people to be really, really careful on all ice, but particularly salt ice.
The Eastham one?
Eastman.
Yeah.
That was in Eastham. We have a proclamation for the Recycling Committee, which runs the recycling center. So if your main representatives would like to come forward, we will read it to you, and then we're going to have a 5-minute recess, and you're going to take pictures.
So what do you mean the main representatives come
Do you want to just have, who's your chair, Jen Gady? Yeah, come on, why don't you come on forward? And who else do you have here that's on your board?
It's all of them are on.
Well,
the
I know,
board.
but on your board?
Yeah. Mr.
Anne
Gallagher.
Marie?
Yeah.
Okay.
So everybody sit at the table?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Does you have 1, 2, 3,
We have room for 4. Said we
No,
have
you
room
grab
for
another chair.
Oh,
Gavin, bring a chair forward, please. You just got voluntold.
Just grab a chair.
Just grab any one of those
Yeah,
chairs.
and bring
Right
it
up there.
so they can, yep, thank you, sir. Hello, Dr. Brooks, how are you?
Hi.
Nice to see you.
okay.
And our silent partner, Wanda Savory, is missing.
I'm sorry, I feel like I have to stand because this is such a formal, and I won't because I won't be able to hear me. Whereas, since the year 1996, the Wareham Recycling Center has served the town of Wareham by coordinating waste diversion efforts in partnership with the All-Volunteer Recycling Committee, Municipal Maintenance, and other town departments and community organizations. Whereas the Recycling Center's mission promotes environmental stewardship through creative reuse, public education for residents of all ages, and special events that encourage participation in reduce, reuse, and recycle. And whereas the Recycling Center operates as a self-sustaining facility supported by grants, recycling revenues, disposal fees, donations, and the dedication of its volunteers. And whereas the center primarily serves residents of apartments, condominiums, and mobile home parks who otherwise lack access to recycling services, welcoming an average of 130 residents each week. And whereas in 2025, the recycling center diverted nearly 30 tons of mixed recycling from the waste stream, more than 7,000 pounds of electronic waste, along with significant volumes of cardboard, tires, and latex paint, and prevented more than 15,000 pounds of plastic bags and wrap from entering the landfill through the TREX program. And whereas the Recycling Center Swap Shed and Book Shed promote reuse, community connection, and affordability, while additional initiatives such as rigid plastics collection, shred days, and future special events continue to expand its impact. And whereas the Recycling Center's success is made possible by more than 1,300 volunteer hours annually and the ongoing commitment of its committee members and volunteers, now therefore be it proclaimed that the town of Wareham hereby recognizes and commends the Wareham Recycling Center and Recycling Committee for their exceptional service, environmental leadership, and lasting contributions to sustainability and well-being, and encourages residents to support and participate in this program. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands the 17th day of February, 2026, the Select Board, Judith Whiteside, Chair, Sarah Corbett, Clerk, Jared S. Chadwick, Marcus S. Gomes, and Joseph M. Still.
Thank you. I'm going to declare a 5-minute recess so we can do pictures. Mr. Day, could we have a 5-minute recess, please? Mr. Day? Yes. Thank you.
Okay, now it's what we call.
Thank you. We are back in session here after having some pictures taken with the Recycling Committee, and again, thank you very much. We now have a 7:10 hearing. It is always, we can always hold a hearing after the time that it has been posted. We can never hold the hearing before the time that it has been posted because of the advertising. Ms. Corbett, may I have a motion, please? Mike.
I move to open the public hearing regarding the application of Tavern Hospitality Incorporated, doing business as the Poor Farm Tavern, 196 Main Street, Wareham, Massachusetts, 02571, for an entertainment license to include live music and jukebox Sunday through Saturday between the hours of 11:30 a.m. and 1 a.m. under the provisions of Chapter 140, Section 183A, and Chapter 136 of the Massachusetts General Laws.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to open the hearing. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still?
Yay.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Mr. Gomes?
Aye.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. The hearing is now open. Would you identify yourself for the record, please, and tell us why you're here? We know why you're here, but...
Jennifer McHugh. I'm the owner of Tavern Hospitality, DBA The Poor Farm Tavern. We are looking to receive an entertainment license so we could have most likely just acoustic music inside, live entertainment inside the tavern.
Okay. You did have to notify your abutters,
Yes.
and I will note, you have requested 2 o'clock. We have nothing open after 1 o'clock in this town, so the license will reflect 1 o'clock.
Yes.
Are there any questions of the young lady?
No.
Hi, I was there last Tuesday.
Yes. Good to see you.
Okay. And so I did ask you about this then, because I knew you were coming in. And then my husband and I left, and we went to the left to go to Pizzoli Square parking. And I saw that there was like a small alleyway that had benches, and it was snowy, so it was hard to see anything. And then, does it go around the back?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And is this a seasonal, or you're going to be inside in the winter?
Inside in the winter and then outside in the summer if possible.
So where in the winter is the entertainment going to go?
We would just move one of the tables out of the way and tuck a musician into the corner.
Tucking is a good word. Yeah, yeah. Actually go, because the food is fabulous. Yeah, okay. Those are my questions. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Any other questions of the young lady?
Thank you.
No. Motion to close the hearing, please.
Point of order.
Yes, sir.
I'm in a butter.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, is there anyone here who, I'm sorry. Anyone here who chooses to speak in favor of this application? Is there anyone here who chooses to speak in opposition to this application?
I am.
Okay, could you step forward, please, and let us know your name, please, and spell it for the record, please?
My name is Christian Consoletti, Consoletti.
How are you this evening?
Wonderful. I'm
And
not totally against it, but I'm not totally for it. I'm concerned about the hours of operation. I am the closest, probably the only abutter. I am 60 feet away from that facility. Entertainment outside will interfere with my funeral assemblies or religious rites that I have in my building. So under Massachusetts General Chapter 272, Section 42, 42A, and 42B, anyone who's willfully interfering with that, that would be with a license to have outdoor or anything that would interfere with services going on within my building or outside, it would be an issue.
okay. Mr. Bowen, are you available, sir?
I'm here.
Thank you. You heard what Mr. Consoletti has raised as a concern. Do you have any words of advice to this board in terms of granting the license as it has been requested?
There's always a presumption in favor of granting a license unless there can be shown to be a disruption to public health, welfare, and safety, and there is required to be a level of proof, some empirical proof that there'll actually be a disruption. Now, I'm not familiar with the statutory sections that the gentleman has quoted. However, if the law is as the gentleman has recited, then on any occasion where the entertainment was causing a violation of that particular statute, the party holding the entertainment would be obliged to stop. So it's not a reason to deny the license. It would go more towards the manner in which the license holder was providing entertainment.
Okay, let me try this one on you. If Mr. Consoletti were able to let the owners know when he might be having services or other events, I would say, so that you would be aware that that might be an issue, would that be something that you would be amenable to?
Yes, absolutely.
Would that, does
What
that,
if we restrict the hours of entertainment between or after 9 p.m.?
they applied for something that we can't give them. They've applied for up to 1 o'clock. And we have no reason to
Well, no,
deny
I
that.
mean, they can't start until 9 PM or 8:30, between 8:30 and 9 PM, rather than at 11:30 in the morning. I think it was stated 11:30 AM.
Yeah.
I requested it for that time. I don't anticipate that we would ever have music starting that early. I just did it during our hours of operation, so that when we have,
But if it's on a permit, then you're
Right.
permitted to do it
Right.
that way. That's the only issue I have.
So you would prefer that they start any entertainment at all around 8 or 9 PM?
I've been trying to keep families in and out of downtown because of the traffic, with the increased traffic, with the bump outs and parking in different situations, to try to be done by 8 o'clock at the latest. But there are some families in our community that still want the traditional 2 to 4, 7 to 9. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. You know, on a Saturday morning, you could have funerals. I have a wake this Saturday. I have a 2 to 4 Friday. I have a 10 to 12 on Saturday. So
And those wakes, those are wakes, right?
those are wakes.
And they
services.
constitute those are religious,
Correct.
Yeah.
I have the copy of the statute. I can provide
That's,
it for
yeah,
you.
thank you.
yeah.
We'll take it in a
That'd be
second.
good.
Yeah.
She's saying no, you're saying
You're
yes.
saying no?
No, I'm saying, hang on a second.
Okay, sorry.
I'm not totally opposed to it. I think it's great, but it's just, it's going to impede. We're probably, as neighbors, my door would be just across the hall, and her back door is about that window.
And you're above, so the music,
Not really.
oh.
We're almost even.
through the fence.
And so when you
But my
say,
building faces the rear part of
Yeah.
their building.
when you say, ma'am, acoustic music, what does that mean exactly that you had in mind?
Like singer-songwriter, probably solo or duo acts, acoustic guitar kind of.
Folk type of music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd assume that doesn't get too loud, on the inside at least.
Typically not. I mean, it's a small space, so that's what we're anticipating. Again, like he said, with the.
There is no problem with whatever they're doing inside. That is probably the most soundproof building on Main Street. I haven't heard a peep when that,
Matt-
it's been, I'm
Madam
happy for
Chairman?
them. It's been very active, but if it's inside, doors are closed, it's fine. When anything moves outside, that's when you have a lot of issues.
Okay, so
Madam Chairman?
yes, sir, Mr. Bowen, please.
If I could suggest, so what I'm hearing from the gentleman, it sounds like the restriction on hours wouldn't be a problem for the stuff inside. So you wouldn't need a limitation for inside stuff. I guess assuming the windows were closed. But if you're looking to restrict it, then you could try something like no amplified music prior to 9 p.m. in the outdoor area.
Ms. McHugh, is that an amenable solution for you or not?
That wouldn't be my preference. We usually, like our other location, if we have music outside, it's usually afternoon.
Well, Madam Chairman, with respect, this is not about, everybody's preferences. I mean, I think
Yeah, I
your
understand.
preference would be to let,
Yeah.
let people do what they want to do. But here, it's about neighbors and trying to
Yeah.
work with neighbors in a way that doesn't interfere with the way everybody works. So, really, the question would be, setting aside the question of preference, would no amplified music outside prior to 9 p.m. work?
No.
No, because she's going to be operating in the better weather times. Yeah. Mr. Bowen, let me try this on you. What if we had it as she's requested, but noting that when there are going to be services at Mr. Consoletti's establishment, that he would ask the petitioner to not exercise that right? It's going to be hard because you have to let your entertainers know ahead of time, right?
Okay, can I
Right.
ask,
Yeah, go ahead.
how far in advance do you know you're going to have an entertainer playing that day?
Few weeks at minimum.
All right.
Yeah. And you might have something
Yeah,
in
for
2 or 3
48
days.
hours.
Yeah, I know.
Sadly.
Okay. Okay, so let's,
Could we keep it below a certain volume when
Yeah,
there's, I mean,
that's-
we're there to be part of the community and be neighborly, so I want to make sure that everybody in the neighborhood is, I mean, I'm not there to,
No, personally, with volume, you can control the volume, but you can't control the volume of the people. Once you have music, then people talk louder, and then the
Right.
it just gets louder
right.
and louder. It's,
okay.
I mean, I don't have many services on Saturday afternoons or on Sundays because they're religious days, but, you know, wakes could be on Sundays. That's the hard part, too.
Madam Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Bowen?
to Mr. Consoletti, I realize it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. Typically, how far out in advance are you booking wakes?
Private wakes could be within 48 hours.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
the shortest amount of time.
Yeah, so it's not like,
Can't
obviously.
schedule through months
Yeah,
in
you don't
advance.
usually have a week in advance. Well, sometimes you do, but not
It's
all
rare.
the time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask for a continuation of the hearing, and I'm going to have this board do some of the homework on the other things that you've cited, Mr. Consoletti, and we will have an opportunity to think about what it is that
Come up with
we come up with a plan that is fair to everyone. And I think that's what both of you are asking for.
Madam Chairman,
Yes, sir.
if I could respectfully suggest that the applicant spend some time with Mr. Consoletti to see if between the two of them, they can work out a system that reconciles Mr. Consoletti's quick turnaround kind of schedule, the nature of the business being what it is, with her desire to have the entertainment. If they could work something out between themselves that's satisfactory to both, then you've got a winner.
Okay, but I think that we need to continue the hearing.
Agreed.
Okay. Would that be okay with the, is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll ask for a motion to continue the hearing, please, until next week. We're closing the warrant.
So it's going to have to be 2.
You want the 3rd?
It's,
Yep.
yeah, I'll make you want me to make the motion?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I move to continue the hearing to March 3rd, particular time,
7:10.
at 7:10.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to continue the hearing on Poor Farm, or Tavern Hospitality, Inc., DBA The Poor Farm, until March 3rd at 7:10 PM. Is there a second to that motion? You did.
I did.
All those in favor, I'm going to ask for a roll call, please. Mr. Still?
Aye.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Mr. Gomes?
Aye.
Mr. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. So what we have done is essentially put it on the table, or we've kept it open. You heard what Mr. Bowen said, and I think you've heard all of our concerns, and I'm absolutely positive that you will be able to work something out that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before you leave, why don't you make sure you have each other's.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have another hearing at 7:15. I'm going to ask you to open this hearing.
I move to open the hearing regarding the Massachusetts Community Development Block Grant CDBG program.
May I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to open the hearing. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still?
Aye.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Mr. Gomes?
Aye.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. The hearing is open. Mr. Day, would you let Christine Sullivan in? And if you are here for that hearing, could you please raise your hand so that Mr. Day knows who he should let into the hearing? Christine Sullivan, I know, and I'm not sure. Do you have Wayne Darrow with you as well? I can't see the...
There's about 5 individuals that
No?
Um,
I'll make photocopies after.
Really? Is that it, John? Mr. Day?
I have 3 individuals. I'm waiting for them to rejoin.
So it would be Mr. Dara, Ms. Sullivan, and who else, Wayne?
Ms. McDonough.
Okay. Thank you. Is
Good
that
evening.
it? Good evening. Would each of you identify yourself for the record, please, as well as spell your name, please?
Wayne Dara, President of Community Opportunities Group. My name is spelled Darragh.
Thank you.
Christine Sullivan, Community Opportunities Group, Program Coordinator. Last name Sullivan, Sullivan.
And?
Anita McDonough?
I'm sorry, again?
That's fine. Oh, sorry. Karen McDonough, Community Group, Program Assistant.
Can you spell it, please?
McDonough.
Thank you. And?
I am Anita Rigasio Smith. The last name is spelled Rigassio I'm the board president for Damien's Pantry.
Thank you. Okay, the presentation will be either, somebody else. Are you?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, Stuart Downey, STUARTDOWNIE, and I'm here with the Buzzards Bay Coalition for our Onset Bay Centre application.
Okay. And anyone else? That's it? Okay, thank you. Can you spell your last name, sir? Mr. Downey?
Yes, Downey, DOWNIE.
Thank you. Yes, and would you, yes, Mr. McCulloch, why don't you step forward, sir, and just take a seat. Also present is Chuck McCulloch, who is Turning Point CEO. Is that correct? Yes. Thank you.
Spelling?
McCullough.
O-U-G-H. Okay, thank you.
Very good.
Christina, is it you or Wayne?
We will be
I'll
presenting
take the
tonight.
lead.
Okay, go for it.
Thank you. It's good to be here tonight. Community Opportunities Group is the CDBG consultant for the town of Wareham. We have been for a number of years now. We're here tonight to discuss the town's FY 2026 CDBG application to the Massachusetts Mini Entitlement Program. We're also going to talk about the existing grants that the town has open and talk about the town's community development strategy briefly. The Community Development Block Grant Program is a program that starts at the federal government with HUD. HUD provides funds to the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth then decides how to distribute those funds on a competitive basis. Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities is the organization that oversees the CDBG program. They have seen fit to create 2 classifications of communities, competitive community development fund communities, and then mini entitlement communities. Wareham happens to be a mini entitlement community, which is something that works in their favor because you are guaranteed funding every year while you have that classification. The amount of funding that has been available goes up and down every year depending on what the state gets from the federal government. This year, the maximum amount that is available to the town is $875,000. In the past, we have used these funds to support a number of community needs, support to food pantries, homelessness prevention, transportation assistance, youth after-school programs. We've financed capital improvements to some of the Wareham Housing Authority properties. We've recently completed a project, park project in Onset, done sidewalks and other infrastructure projects. And of course, we've been running a housing rehab program for a number of years. Tonight, we'd like to present a proposal to the board to provide 4 activities under this grant. Those would be to continue the housing rehab program. And there's a very particular reason we're suggesting that you continue to fund the housing rehab program. Up and through the 2025 grant, EOHLC had a requirement that housing rehab programs be targeted to particular areas designated by a community as their community development strategy area. This has been a real challenge for the town because Wareham, at approximately 30 square miles, Wareham is bigger than any of the other mini entitlement communities. And even if we have a relatively large target area, which we do, there's still a big portion of the community that is outside that target area. And in those instances, those individuals would only be eligible for emergency work under the housing rehab program. We couldn't do the complete project there. We couldn't remove lead paint and take care of other issues there. We just have to address that one emergency. Perhaps it's a leaking roof or a failed heating system, and then leave them with other needs that they may or may not be able to address. So starting with 2026, EOHLC has removed the targeting requirement from the housing rehab program. This is going to allow us to do a much better job of addressing the needs on a town-wide basis of Wareham's citizens. So we're very excited about that, and that's why we want to move forward again this year with housing rehab. The other programs we're suggesting are 3 social service programs. There've also been a slight change to the social service program. In the past, you were allowed to use up to 20% of your grant for the social service programs, and then you got administrative funds to run those programs on top of that. That's no longer the case. The administrative funds have to come under that 20% cap, so there's actually less money to distribute to the social service agencies. This year, we are suggesting that the town continue to support Turning Point, Damien's Place, and the Buzzards Bay Coalition, who were all included in our last grant and successfully administered their activities under those grants. Any questions?
Mr. Dara, we have 2 brand-new select people, and maybe if you can explain the housing rehab program a little bit more in detail. I think it's a program that we would like to advertise that we have. If you could explain that one a little bit more.
I'd be happy to. The housing rehab program is really a great program to be able to offer your residents. The way the program is structured is income eligible property owners are eligible for what we call deferred payment loans. So let's say we do $50,000 of work on your home. We would basically put a mortgage against the property in that amount, but it's a zero interest mortgage, and it is a declining balance mortgage, which means every year the amount that you would owe upon sale of the property decreases by 1/15. So after a 15-year term, that mortgage would go to zero and would basically become a grant to you. If during that 15-year period you do sell the property, then the appropriate portion of that original amount, again, without interest, would come back to the town to be used to assist another homeowner. So it's a great way for people on limited incomes to be able to, quotation finger, finance improvements at their home without incurring a regular monthly payment like they would have to with a, equity line of credit or some other instrument. So it's a great way to be able to keep people in their home, provide them with a home that is safe and sanitary and will be for the foreseeable future.
Are mobile homes eligible?
Yes, we do work on manufactured homes fairly regularly.
Thank you.
And Sarah Corbett, just so that I'm understanding what I'm hearing, this seems pretty incredibly good. And so a person would be eligible for this money with I'm looking at the chart with the current low and moderate income limits. One person earning essentially $35,000 a year, and a person earning essentially $58,000 a year, and a person earning essentially $93,000 a year would be eligible for this program. Is that accurate?
Yes, so the moderate income limit is 80% of the area median income. Now, what works into Wareham's favor is Wareham is considered part of the Boston metropolitan statistical area. So the average income for the Boston area is relatively high. That works out great for the folks in Wareham. Yes, the maximum amount is $92,650 for a one-person household to be eligible for this program.
And it's now the entire town is included in this targeted area?
That is correct. We no longer have a target area for housing rehab. It's available to residents throughout the town of Wareham.
Okay, Wareham, take note. I'm looking at our Wareham Week person. This is amazing. Thank you for this great news.
I just will also let you know that there's a waiting list already.
There is a waiting list, a significant waiting list.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's another reason why we're asking for continued funding of this program.
Excellent. Any other questions of Mr. Dara? Marcus, you all set? Okay, keep going. Whoever. Christine?
Okay.
Yeah.
We just talk a little bit about the community development strategy. This is a short 3-page document that we've developed over time. It basically is a discussion, a short discussion, considering it's only 3 pages, of the community development needs of the town of Wareham and its priorities. In the past, EOHLC has required us to update that every year. This is another change they made in their guidelines recently, so that a community development strategy now has a 3-year life. So we most recently reviewed, edited, and updated the community development strategy for the 2024 funding round. So it's still in effect as is for the 2026 funding round. We provided a copy of it in the information to the board, but that document comes into play because in order for an activity to be eligible for inclusion in the grant, it has to appear in some manner in the community development strategy, and it should be on one of the priority lists, even if it's a low priority. All of the activities we've talked about, including in this application, meet that requirement. The other requirement on an activity's eligibility is that it has to be in compliance with the Commonwealth's Sustainable Development Principles. This is a set of 10 principles that basically promote reuse, concentration of activity, protection of the ecosystem, equity, transportation options. They're basically guidelines to get you to stick with more concentrated development in your communities. They do not apply to the social services. So the only thing we have to worry about being compliant with these requirements are the housing rehab program. And it is compliant because we're not talking about building new housing on virgin land. We're talking about rehabbing established structures and established neighborhoods. And that meets the requirements of the Sustainable Development Principles.
Thank you.
And any questions on that?
No? I will note.
Okay, and then we've got to do a quick rundown. We're required to have at least 2 public hearings on every grant. So we always take that opportunity when we're doing a public hearing for a new grant to go back and discuss the status of existing grants that the town has and are still open.
So I will note for the record that in the advertisement that was in Wareham Week, which is a fairly lengthy advertisement, that also is covered in the advertisement as well as the current grant program. So we are able to do that in this hearing. Thank you.
That's correct. Thank you. So we have several open grants going back to 2021. This grant is basically spent out except for one activity. We had hoped to do a study of the 195 Main Street building that is currently in disrepair. We've had meetings and outreach with the owner, and they have been hesitant to move forward with that study. We're not sure we're going to actually have the opportunity to complete that study. It's just for a small amount of money, and it's possible that those funds would have to be returned to the state if we don't finish this soon.
And excuse me, I do have a question about this. I'm on the Wareham Redevelopment Authority. What building exactly is it? I did look it up, but I can't. What is exactly 195 Main Street?
It's in the building that pops up on the assessor's card. It's the left part of that building. I don't know how to describe it any better than that. It's currently vacant. It's the building where on the backside they put Jersey barriers to keep people from parking right up against the building because bricks were falling out of the rear wall.
I'll call it the Cornwell building.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Thank you.
I wish that man would be more willing to talk with you and work with you. I think that building would be able to use these funds very well. So thanks for trying. I do appreciate it.
You're welcome. And there are complicating matters with that parcel. It is in a flood zone, which really makes it a challenging redevelopment and reuse parcel. We also have a 22-23 grant that was the housing rehab program, public social services, Damon's and Turning Point have spent all of their money from that grant. GATRA still has over $12,000 remaining in that grant. The housing rehab program is fully committed, and the Redwood Park window replacement project is currently out to bid. So I think we have bids coming in on that next week, and hopefully we'll get that project under contract and moving forward as soon as weather allows.
And just for the record, Mr. Dara, those were 2 years, and that's why the amount is double the previous 825, because it was 22 and 23 squished
Correct.
together.
The COVID crisis resulted in a lot of additional federal money being funneled through HUD because it had the system set up to be able to distribute it to almost any place in the country. So they delayed the 22 CDBG funds because they were moving all of the COVID relief funds at that time, and they just couldn't do it all at one time. So they ended up doubling up the normal 825 amount to 1.65 million for the 22-23 grant.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We also have the 24 grant. Again, the three social services that are here, Buzzards Bay, Damiens, and Turning Point, they expended all of their funds under that grant. GATRA has another $30,000 under that grant that they haven't expended yet. We completed a rehab project at Evergreen House, which really came out quite well for that facility. It's made the quality of life of the residents there improved. And housing rehab program, which we're still administering. We've completed 3 units. We've got another one in the work specification development phase, and recently activated 4 more cases for income qualification. And that brings us to the most recent grant, 2025. This is in startup mode. We've recently posted the notice of intent to request the release of funds. We've addressed the special conditions that EOHLC placed on that grant, and we expect that we'll have a release of funds sometime next week, or perhaps later this week. So that'll be ready to get moving. We'll be working with the town on that, the rest of that startup as we go forward here. And again, the social services here tonight are included in that grant, as is GATRA for additional money. And I know GATRA provides a wonderful service to the citizens of Wareham, but they have got over $80,000 in the pipeline right now on these older grants. It's one of the reasons I'm not suggesting the town include them in this grant. When you have funds in a line item in your grant and you're not drawing on them, that draws the attention of EOHLC and even HUD as to why that money isn't moving. So that was my rationale for not including them, or not asking for them to be included in the 2026 grant.
Thank you. Was Evergreen House the roof?
It was much more than that. We did roof and windows and bathroom,
Okay.
de-leading. It was about an $80,000 project there. Is that correct, Christine? Yeah, it was about an $80,000 project.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay. What do you need from us?
There's no questions on anything I've brought up, any concerns?
Okay, it is a hearing, so we could ask if Mr. McCulloch, Mr. Downey, or who else was here?
Anita?
Anita, yeah, whether they would be interested in speaking on behalf of their request, I guess, or their organization. Is that appropriate, Mr. Dara?
I think that would be great.
Mr. McCulloch, you're here first.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Could you identify yourself for the record, please?
I'm Chuck McCullough, and I am the president of the Wareham Area Committee for the Homeless, better known as Turning Point Wareham Resource Center. And we're very appreciative of these funds that we receive every year. This stream of money is extremely important to us. We look forward to this every year. On the other side of the equation, though, just a very quick update. Our request for support. One of the things we do certainly are provide funds to cover utilities and rents for those neighbors that are under stress. And we're all fully aware of the ever-increasing utility rate, and that's pushing our numbers up. We're about to close this fiscal year, March 31st, and when this year comes to a close, and in the rent and utilities is a segment of what we do. There are other services, but this relates to that. It's going to be 180 awards for $95,000, and that's up 15% over the prior year, which was up 12% over the year before then. So just to give you an idea of how important the $48,000 is to us, it's half of what we're doing. It's ever increasing. So that's all I have to say is we thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCullough. Mr. Downey, on behalf of Buzzards Bay Coalition.
Yes, we use these funds for our Waterfront Training Academy, which is an after-school program, a summer camp program that takes 13 to 16-year-olds at our center, learning essential skills, life skills, leadership, team building, as well as maritime and environmental stewardship. And it's just seeing, we had 26 low-income Wareham youth last year come through the program, some assisting through the summer camp, a week on camp with kids, others coming to the after-school program, some the same. And it's a fantastic program and could not happen without CDBG funds. The difference in the kids' lives, having somewhere to go, something to focus on, something to enjoy, and the impact they have on the younger kids coming to camp is amazing to see. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Downey. And Anita
Regasio Smith.
Regasio Smith. I wrote it down. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Would
Sorry,
you...
it didn't pop up in my Zoom.
No, it didn't. Yeah. Could you speak on behalf of Damien's?
On behalf of Damien's, yes, we're very grateful for these grants in the past. It helps us to provide food for Wareham residents, the way it's structured. And not only does it help us provide food, but Damien's, as you probably know, has become it has become a major food distribution center for southern Massachusetts. So your funds help us operationally. The administrative aspect of it helps us retain a very talented executive director, and all that makes Damien's very healthy and continue to support and grow in the region. So thank you very much for the past, and we look forward to the future funding as well.
I just have one question. You got rid of your gardens. Is that going to be parking places?
That for now is going to be parking places. Yes, we've seen an increase, and we had to weigh the cost benefit of the space.
Thank you. Any other questions of these? Thank you. Mr. Chadwick has a question, Mr. Dara, about the previous grant where GATRA has not expended everything.
Okay.
Is there a way to take either the money back from them and disperse it to the organizations that we currently have, or take that money in the future and give more to the organizations that we have listed here?
So we
go ahead.
have found ourselves in that position in the past where we had to reprogram funding. But most recently that happened with an agency that ceased its operations. So the Community Youth Enrichment, CYE?
Yes.
Community Youth Empowerment.
They had received grant funds, and they were having trouble launching the program, didn't quite have the demand that they had anticipated. And eventually the board voted to just terminate that program. So we took the funds that were remaining and split them between Damien's Place and Turning Point. So if you're just moving them to other activities that are already in the grant, it's much easier because then it's just a budget amendment. It's not a program amendment. You're not introducing an activity after the grant has been approved. But we have done that. We have a track record of doing that.
I'll be a little bit more specific. In other words, you said there's $80,000 in the pipeline for GATRA. Would it be possible to take some of that funding and redistribute it to Damien's and Turning Point?
Thank you.
As an example.
That's certainly an option because both of those organizations are in those grants with GATRA. So
Can we do that now?
that is something to consider.
Can we do that now?
It wouldn't be appropriate to do it as part of this public hearing. And actually, it wouldn't need a public hearing.
It would be appropriate to do it?
I think he said
We
no.
can do it administratively after a discussion with our program rep at EOHLC. But if you want to note the board's desire to do that, that would certainly be beneficial to us.
Okay, and what about,
So we could make a motion to ask you, as our administrators, to see whether we could redirect $40,000, for instance, of the 80, or some portion of that funding. Is that what you're telling us we can do?
Yeah, I am. I'm just suggesting that a motion like that might be better made after we close the public hearing and vote on the application.
40 go to Damien's?
Okay, so.
Can I make a comment? If
Yes,
it's appropriate now or after a public hearing, I'm not sure.
go ahead.
I just would want the board to be aware that part of the reason why GATRA hasn't gone through some of their funding as quickly is they have benefited from special programs, and I don't know how they come about and how often, and if they'll ever arise again. But for instance, right now, the OWL passes are free from GATRA, so riders are able to enjoy that, and we haven't had invoicing on the OWL program in a few months, and they also benefited. There was some other funding last Christmas, for example, that did the same. I don't know if it was the Dial-A-Ride or the OWL, one or the other of those around Christmas time. So they benefited from that. So I would be hesitant to jump on reallocating the funding immediately. I would let them finish out the 22-23 grant and see how the 24 grant is going.
But
Okay,
they've barely touched their 22, 23, and 24 grant. Is that correct?
They
have-
are, oh, sorry.
They haven't spent any of the funding from 24. They haven't spent any of the funding from, I'm sorry, under 22, 23, they have 12,000 remaining out of 30,000. Under 24, there's $30,000 that they have not touched. And then they were funded under 25
For an
for, I think,
additional,
40,000.
for
Christine?
40,000?
The 24 grant has the 40,500. The 25 grant has 30.
Okay, so,
And neither of those have been touched.
correct. I mean,
Correct.
in their defense, nothing in the 25 has been touched yet. We don't have a release of funds. It's not available to expend
They
yet.
haven't touched anything. It needs, if there's 80,000 coming in, my mic is on. If there's 80,000 coming in, personally, I think we need to see 40 go to Turning Point and 40 go to Damien's.
so I'm going to ask, is this the program that also provides medical transport for our senior citizens?
Yes.
Through Dial-A-Ride?
It's through
Or
a different
whatever it's
program,
called.
the out-of-town
Yep.
program, yes,
And
which are
what I-
expensive.
What I feel like I'm hearing from you guys is it may not be right this red hot minute to make this move, it may be better to think about it and then come back and have a longer discussion. This is a big deal. I get where you're coming from, but we've been having this conversation for a few moments now. I think
But
that's a big decision to make right this red hot minute.
Can they reapply next year then? If they go through however much money they have from the prior years, can they reapply in next year or the year after?
So I
I mean,
think,
by the time they're going to spend that,
so I think what I hear you
making
guys
assumptions
all
that
saying
aren't
is
true.
that it is a big deal, and it's a big change in the program. And I think in their defense, that they would need to be in front of us to defend
Yeah.
how they would be spending that
Yep.
funding. And so I would say that it is not appropriate for us to take any action at this moment.
I understand that, but the cost of utilities is through the roof right now. The amount of families in this town that don't have food, the amount of children who don't have food, except for when they go to school.
I agree with you, but I don't
I'd
think we
rather-
can make it,
And
yeah.
I know I'm going to get shot for this one, but I'd rather see families have heat and food rather than worrying about somebody getting a ride from point A to point B.
It's not
But it's
that
not-
simple.
it's
I
not that-
I
It is
understand,
not
I
that
understand.
simple.
The Council on Aging, I know, relies
Yes.
on medical appointments out of town. A lot of our seniors have to go out of town to either New Bedford or Fall River for their medical appointments. It's not appropriate to shut this off.
I'm not saying,
Yeah. I hear
I'm
what
saying
you're
for this year,
It's not even on the thing for this year.
Right, that's why they're not
Yeah.
included in this
That's-
year's grant.
That's why they're not even on this list.
I understand, all right.
In other words, they're not on the list for the grant that we're talking about for '26.
So for 26, there's that, for 25, that 80 grand, just so I'm understanding this correctly, that 25, that 80 grand.
No.
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 There's 30 in
Between the
25.
three
Yeah.
grant years, 22, 23, 24, and 25, there's approximately $82,000 to be expended by GATRA. So there's
82.5.
12,000 left in 22, 23 out of initial allotment of 30,000.
We took
Then
them out,
there's 40,000 in 24 and 30,000 in 25.
so we took them out this year. Where's that money?
It's been spent in the, you have to
It's
look,
being,
I'm looking at that right now. All right.
it went into the housing.
right, we did not max out the 20% of public social services in the budget I presented to you.
Ultimately, what we're being asked to vote on today, though, is
This,
What's before us?
to approve this.
yes.
In my personal sense in all of this, I would feel further study is needed. I completely get what Mr. Chadwick is trying to say, and if somebody is not using funds, it should be distributed to other people who use these funds, more importantly, people that very much need it. To cut out a program completely makes no sense. To throw money into one pocket's more is nonsense. So further study is something I'd personally like to see.
I agree.
Of that particular issue, not of this whole motion, of
No,
that particular
yeah,
issue.
that issue can come back to us,
Right.
yeah, with
think we
with
all
the
agree on
3 open grants for them, and I think they, again, they being GATRA, needs the opportunity to speak. But
agree, I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what we are being asked to do is to authorize the expenditure as they gave it to us in writing here, the 875 total, the public services is 135,000, and the other stuff is 609,000, and program administration is 131,000. So it adds up to the 875. We just aren't touching the unexpended GATRAs, but there's no entry for GATRA or no proposal for GATRA in this 26 grant.
I think we're all on the same page at this point.
Yeah.
Yes. We're going back and forth about
Right,
funds.
Marcus, do you agree? Yeah.
Okay. Go for, anything else that you would like to say to us? Is there anyone in the audience who chooses to speak about this grant?
Madam Chair, I have 2 individuals with their hands raised online.
Okay, may I have their names one at a time?
I will let Jim in.
Jim who?
Just as Jim.
Would you identify yourself fully, please, Jim?
This is Jim Manise,
Thank you, Mr.
Cranberry Highway, Wareham. Can you
And-
hear me there?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Couple of questions. How many years from the date of the grant do the recipients get to utilize those funds moving forward?
Well, the initial implementation schedule on most of these grants is 18 months. That 18 months started already. They started on July 1st. So for instance, typically a grant goes from July 1st to December of the following year. The 22-23 grant, because it was a larger amount of money, they provided a 24-month time frame, but it's not unusual for the town to seek extensions of 6 or another 18 months. Most of these grants go from 24 months to 30 months of implementation.
Because
Thank
a
you
lot of
for
it, you
that
have to put it out
information.
to bid. A lot of what you are doing has to be put out to bid, and that extends the process of spending the money.
Correct.
Correct,
And
yeah.
sometimes the timing of the grant awards don't always line up with the best construction seasons, so.
Okay.
Okay, and moving forward, you spoke about the social service grants. What's the other funding earmarked for this grant application?
Outside of public social services, the only other activity under this program would be the housing rehab program. We hope to do 9 to 10 units with the approximately $600,000 we've set aside.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Mr. Day, who else is there, please?
They have lowered their hands.
They lowered their hand? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience who chooses to speak on behalf of this grant? Are you through with your presentation?
I am.
Okay. You guys through with your questions?
No, just thank you guys for all doing what you're doing. I've got the pleasure to meet a couple of you I think I see here, and what you do is great in the town, and I'm happy that you have this program that's helping you out in this time and granting all of you guys. So thank you for doing
We
what you're doing.
appreciate being appreciated.
Yes, thank you.
Accept a motion to close the hearing.
I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close the hearing. Is there any further discussion on the motion to close the hearing? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still?
Aye.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Mr. Gomes?
Aye.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. The hearing is closed. I will now accept a motion regarding the 2026 proposed outline of how to spend that grant of $875,000.
Madam Chairwoman, could I suggest a motion?
Sure.
Oh, yes.
Even better.
The
Love it when he does this.
Board of Selectmen, Select Board votes to approve the submission of a 2026 CDBG application up to $875,000 to fund a housing rehab program and 3 public social services.
Say it again. I don't write as fast as you talk. To approve the submission of this 2026
Of a
CDBG.
2026
CDBG, yeah.
CDBG application in an amount up to $875,000
Yeah.
to fund a housing rehab program and 3 social service activities.
So moved.
Oh, you beat me to it. That's my job. Go ahead.
No, I was looking, I was like,
I was waiting
So
for
moved.
right. Second.
Motion made and seconded as read into the record. Any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Gomes?
Aye.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
Mr. Chadwick?
yes.
And Mr. Still?
Aye.
Myself, aye. It is so. Whatever paperwork.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Whatever
you.
paperwork we need to sign, Christine, you can just get it to us. And we did have the audience sign that they were here. And
Great, thank you.
we will add Mr. Muniz's name to the people who attended and spoke, if that's okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else for these people?
Thank
No?
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Have a good
Good
evening.
Take
evening.
care.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Have a good one.
We have some licenses and permits.
I move to request approval for the following items on the agenda, 1 through 4 and 6.
Second.
Did you
Yes.
say move to approve?
I move to approve.
Okay.
Yes.
And seconded. Is there any further discussion on the motion to approve as listed on the agenda, 1 through 4 and 6? Hearing no discussion, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still?
Yes.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Mr. Gomes?
I think we needed a second.
He
I
did
already
say.
did.
Oh,
he
okay,
did.
okay.
Mr. Gomes?
Aye.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. I'm now going to remove myself from the room. I am officer of the Wareham Veterans Day Parade.
Yep. I move to approve the Wareham Veterans Day Parade 11/11/26 from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Approval of usage of roads and for signage. Applicant Matt Stanton, number 48570.
Second.
I'll go for a roll call vote. Mr. Still?
Aye.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
Mr. Gomes?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Motion passes. See, I could definitely be chair.
Is there any, I have no 48-hour business. Mr. Administrator is not available. Liaison and board comments. Mr. Still,
None for me, Madam Chair.
thank you. Mr. Chadwick,
I have none.
Mr. Gomes,
None for me.
and
I have some comments. First, I want to start with thanking Town Administrator Derek Sullivan and Municipal Maintenance Director David Menard, thank you, for the incredibly quick work that they took last weekend. I live off of Charge Pond Road, and if anybody's had the pleasure of the thrill ride that the Charge Pond Road Bridge project has become, they will appreciate how quickly those two men, it was a weekend, I texted Derek, he texted David, they got back to me, and instead of going up Charge Pond Road, and I'm coming from my house towards the Y, I'm at the light that at the time may or may not have been working properly, and one side is supposed to go, and the other side is supposed to go this way when their light turns green, but we had the rare pleasure of having many possible disasters because the lights were broken, the signage was missing, and it was just what had been concerning becoming really endangering. And both of those gentlemen sprang into action that weekend and basically saved a lot of lives. So I wanted to make sure that they were recognized and thanked for that. There will be, speaking of bridges, a bridge replacement on Route 6 over the Weweantic River Monday, February 23rd through December 2026, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that will also become a one-lane road situation where you're going to be flipping back and forth, coming and going. So be aware of that. I hope the state does a better job at signage this time. So I just wanted everyone to be aware of that. I am the chair of the Community Events Committee, and I just wanted to read out a press release that I have given Wareham Week. It will appear next week, but I just wanted to read this out. It seems like word is not really getting out about this new process for the Wareham Community Events Committee. So the application, the press release reads thusly: applications are now being accepted for grants from the Wareham Community Events Fund for events taking place in Wareham and Onset. The purpose of the Wareham Community Events Grants is to sponsor, encourage, and support events by funding services, supplies, programs, advertising, and projects of mutual interest to the town's visitors and residents. Events must meet all guidelines to be eligible. The deadline for application submissions is April 30, 2026. The grant year runs from July 1, 2026 to June 30, 2027. You'll note that is the fiscal year followed by the town government. All grant requests received by the deadline will be reviewed and awarded at the next meeting of the Community Events Committee. All applicants will then be informed by email. Application forms must be submitted online. Guidelines for applying are available online on the Community Events Committee page on the town website, and guidelines are available online and should be used in the application process. And I just want to reiterate, this is what coaches for the Patriots call a building year. This committee is brand new. It dissolved not too long ago and left, I think, 2 of us standing. And we have tried but failed to have a meeting since we had a meeting in December. And that because we have a full committee now. It's me, Nicole Maiselli, Anastasia Andrade, I'm sure I messed that up, sorry, and Indiana Troop and Jody Smith from the FinCom. And we're a great group of people. We're getting to know one another, but we've had exactly 1 meeting. We're having our second meeting Monday, February 23rd at 6 p.m., room 24 at Town Hall. So please, if anyone is interested in attending our meeting, please come. People who are applying for grants, please come to ask questions. And lastly, I want to make a push for my beloved library. On Wednesday, February 18th, from 2 to 4 p.m., Trustee Rich Wolverton will be at the library to make videos and audio recordings of anyone inclined to share their library memories. The results will be kept as an oral history of the current library. This is part of our ongoing Library 35 celebration, as in the library in the current building on Marion Road will turn 35 on May 6th. Thank you, Wareham. I'm done.
Thank you. I'll accept a motion to approve the minutes of February 3rd, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the minutes. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I will go for a roll call vote. Mr. Gomes?
Aye.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Mr. Still?
Aye.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. It is so. Is there any other business to come before this meeting? We will be meeting next Tuesday at 7 o'clock here to close the warrant. Is there any? Okay, I'll accept a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
I knew you'd beat me to it.
Motion, it's
Motion
not,
to adjourn.
not debatable. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Someone
Mr.
needs to second it.
She did.
I did.
Mr. Still?
Aye.
Mr. Chadwick?
Yes.
Ms. Gomes?
Aye.
Ms. Corbett?
Aye.
And myself, aye. We are adjourned at 8:28. Thank you. Good night, Wareham.
Good night, Wareham.
Good night.